Hi, this is Maya, and today I'm going to teach you how to color a chibi girl. So what we're going to do is start off with our Copic sketch markers. In case you didn't get that number, this is E51, Milky White, and I'm just going to start with the skin. This is the basic skin tone, and depending on when you did your lines, just be careful not to smear any. These are alcohol markers that I'm using, so it's very easy to mess up the lines because of the wetness of the marker. So we're just kind of fill it in lightly. Thankfully she's got a lot of clothes on, and her legs are really short, so there's not that much that you need to fill in. So you've got your basic skin tone down. If you've ever used Copic markers before, you'll know that they actually dry a lot lighter than they go down. So we're going to use our second marker, E21, and that's baby skin pink, and we're going to put in some shadows. And the shadows you're going to want to do like underneath the hair where there's a lot of gathering, and above the eyes. You're going to also want to do below the chin, in the hands, on the legs, just any place that you think that would be concealed by some of the overlapping of her either body parts or clothes. A little bit of shadow on her hand and the rest of her fingers, which are pushed back a little bit more. And because she's so tiny, there's really not that much to do as compared to like an actual anime character. So we're going to take our last shadow color. This is E33 Sand. It's going to be our darkest skin tone. And we'll put in that color in places where you think would have the darkest shadows. You want to be sparing with how much exactly you use that because it is so dark. And you can tell how much she's starting to pop just with that much skin tone down. So this is our blush color, Copic Sketch R20 blush, and what we're going to do is put in, well, her blush. And what I always do is start from the side of the face and move in so that it gradually gets lighter. Also going to want to put it in just a little bit on the knees and the legs and the hands where the light will be touching. It just gives kind of her skin just kind of a healthy tone. We're also going to take that same color and color in her mouth. You can see it gives her a really cute feel. And then we're going to take in a darker pink. This is R56 Current, and color in the sides of her mouth. What I'm also going to do is put in a little bit on the sides of her face, almost as a darker blush. And that really gives her a warm and healthy feel. If you prefer not to do this, that's perfectly fine as well. And next I'm going to take my colorless blender, which is just 0, and blend in those cheeks a little bit. Next I'm going to do her eyes. I'm just going to do those blue. I'm going to leave a little bit of white down at the bottom where we can do a lighter blue. That color was B02, by the way. That's robin egg blue. My lighter blue is B000. That color is pale porcelain blue. And we're just going to fill in that little white part down at the bottom. You can see how that gives it a lot more depth. Next we're going to take a yellow. This is Y11, pale yellow, and I'm going to color her vest, her sweater. going to take a darker yellow, this is Y08, this is acid yellow, and just put that in to make the folds pop a little bit more, add a little more depth. And for her skirt, we're going to take W7, warm gray number 7. And we're actually not going to color the entire skirt, but just the darkest parts, which will be the places where the shadows overlap, the different parts of the skirt, as you can see here. And that last one's going to be entirely filled in because it's all the way in the shadow. And adding a couple places here where the skirt connects to the band. And what we'll do in all those white places is we'll come in with a lighter gray, so that the skirt doesn't just look like a black box, it actually has some dimension to it. On that note, our lighter gray is W5, which is warm gray number 5. And we will come in and color the rest of the skirt. It's okay if you want to leave a couple of white streaks, that gives the skirt some more dimension, and you can imagine that's where the shines of the light are. You can see how much more movement that gives the skirt as well, having those two different grays. And this is C3. This is a cool gray number 3, and this is what I'm going to use for her white shirt. This is a gray very different than the gray we just used. It's definitely more cool, it's not so warm. And this is the color that I use when I color in the shadows for whites. If you look at it, you can see what a different gray it is than the ones we just used a minute ago. Now her clothes are pretty much done and the picture's really starting to come together. But what's left to do is her hair. So what I'm going to do is color it brown. I'm using an E59. This is walnut. And what we want to do is we want to start from a central area, which is usually the part of her hair or where her bangs begin, and just streak downwards. Because this is a little bit more of a messy look, just really quick streaks are very good for this, leaving some white in between where we will fill in with a lighter color. And think about too where the hair is gathered and where the shadows would be, like down there on that ponytail. And especially underneath her chin and ears. And now it's really starting to come together now that we have some color in the hair. And this is the lighter color, E57. This is light walnut. These are two colors to use together that they go together always. And what we want to do is color in those white parts that we left. And this really gives the hair, it makes it much more dimensional than it would be if you just colored it all the same color. It gives actual strands, it shows you where the part of the hair is. It does so much if you use 2 colors instead of 1. In fact, you can even use 3 colors. I don't have 3 colors off on hand right now, but you could use as many colors you wanted in the hair. Now you can see that she's really starting to look like a chibi. The last thing I'm going to do to the hair is take my white gel pen, and I'm going to do this to the hair, but right now I'm doing the eye. I'm just curving that line a little bit more to give her eye an open look. You can see how much that did. And adding a shine to the hair. And this just gives kind of the glimmer of where the light touches. I'm going to add a couple of shines to the eye. Your gel pen is essential to every artist's, especially Copic marker artist's collection. And your chibi character is done.